nearly 2 years after opening BearBones Studio here. We're in the middle of another big rainstorm. A rainstorm they say is going to be even equal to that one we had 2 years ago. When I heard that, I was like, there's no way. I felt like that was a once-in-a-lifetime rainstorm. A storm that I didn't expect to ever see anything close to again. Let's see. I mean, this one kind of just started about 2 hours ago. And you'll see when I get over to the training area, the gym is already hit pretty hard. I don't know if it'll get to the level it was 2 years ago. Maybe the city's a little bit more prepared now. I like to think that it's, learned its lesson in a way, and that we can handle it better. But man, it's amazing. I love weather in general. I love extremes of any kind, but I really enjoy extreme weather. I've been in the middle of hurricanes, and I've always been fascinated by the power of Mother Nature, the wind, the rain. It's exhilarating in a way to see the strength that the world has. The skies open up and it feels like you're in a different world. And I've always appreciated and enjoyed that. I grew up in really big snowstorms outside of Boston. I remember in junior high school, we lost half of the year because the roof of the school caved in from the weight of the snow. That level of snowstorm where it's, when you're a kid, it's as tall as you. And when we got hit 2 years ago here, I remember when I first moved to Dubai, when I first came to Dubai, back in the year basically 2008, this place was never seeing any type of rain. I think it was probably 2011, I think. And there was like a tiny bit of rain, and everyone was talking about it. To the level of like, oh, we haven't seen rain. And so when we got hit 2 years ago, that was insane. I don't know how many people watching this total, but definitely I don't know how many people watching this know the storm that I'm talking about, or I think I have another video on here. Funny enough, I think it was the first video I might have posted. The first time I recorded with this camera, I remember that, of me actually working out with someone on that day in the rain. And at that time we had no idea, no expectation of how big of a day that was going to be. I went to pick her up, driving through the rain, and it was kind of fun and exciting. We're climbing on top of the car just to get through the parking lot, and we're working out, and it's pouring outside, and we're like, oh wow, this is beautiful, and we were laughing, and no idea the impact that it would have on everything. My entire life changed because of that rainstorm. The gym that I was working at the time, it shut down because of the flood. It got hit really, really hard. The area that the gym was in is already on a lower level than the surrounding land, and then the gym itself is on a even lower level. So all that water just pooled together, and the gym was under, a few inches of rain that accumulated, and it took a long time for it to drain out and to repair and to get back opened again. And during that time when it was closed down, I invited my clients to train with me at my apartment. I assumed really that no one would take me up on the offer, and I definitely didn't think that anyone would actually enjoy it. But I was surprised. Most of my clients actually came to train with me at the apartment, and everyone who did actually was telling me that they enjoyed it. They enjoyed the privacy of working out at my apartment. And I had nothing. I had nothing at the apartment. It wasn't anything, really nothing. And so I was kind of shaken to the reality that, okay, maybe people, for one reason or another, they enjoy training with me, and they don't need the biggest facility in Dubai. They want good training with a good trainer. That's what they're paying for. And I was like, okay, I can't let this gym open. I need to take advantage. And I can for sure build a spot that's better than my apartment. So I found this spot here. In a way, that's a whole nother story about how, the backstory of this place. But essentially I just came and I said, okay, look, I need this now. I need a yes or no. And I'm ready to go today. I remember that was a Thursday that I got the key. And I got the key on a Thursday. I had already been, kind of talking to some suppliers just to get information. And I had them come, rush some things over here. And by Monday morning at 6 a.m., I had my client Amelia, my first client here at BearBones. And so got the key on Thursday, opened up Monday morning. I remember I slept here on Friday night and I slept here on Sunday night. And when I opened, it really was bare bones. That's largely where the name comes from. Is I opened up with out flooring. I had one bench, one dumbbell rack, a set of dumbbells, one barbell, and this bike next to me. Or maybe I didn't even have that bike when I first opened. I can't remember now. I had nothing. I had nothing. And I opened up, and we just did, I had the TRX. We just did the TRX. We did dumbbell workouts and simple stuff. Really basic stuff. And people came, and people enjoyed, and people renewed. And when people renewed, I got more equipment. And now I'm at the point where I feel like, okay, I have everything I need to do training. And now it's actually kind of sprinkles on the cake. The foundation of the cake is there. And now I'm able to make it look nicer and save up for things that I want, not necessarily things that I need. And just about 2 years of being opened, I think that's a pretty good place to be. I'm really excited for what we can continue to build this place into. But yeah, it's funny. Looking back, the risk I took and the risk that everybody who trains with me here actually also took in joining me here. And it's really thanks to you, everyone who trains with me, that this place is able to be what it is. And let's see how this rainstorm continues, but I'm ready, and we'll make it through. One way or another, we will endure, as they say. And we have Ivy now with us. Ivy, come. Oh, yeah. All right, let's get it going. All right, we are now in the middle of the storm. we got rain falling there. We got rain falling here. We got a bunch of rain falling there. It's like I have no ceiling at all. I don't know how physically this is happening, but we're gonna make through. I'm not expecting much of today's workout, but I'm gonna be here taking care of the place anyway, so I might as well work out, do what I can. So we're gonna call today's workout the Kiss. Keep it simple, silly. I'm literally getting rained on as we do this. But oh, the bar is wet. Nice. You know, the weird thing about the rain when it comes inside here is it's moving all the time. It's not like there's one hole. I mean, of course you can't feel it on the camera, but it feels like I'm outside. You know, it feels like it's a light rain inside. I mean, it's falling from like everywhere right now. I don't know how the best way to approach this is. My biggest concern is actually the squat rack, particularly the wooden base. You know, everything else is easily replaceable, and I can move as I'm doing now. I can easily remove the rubber tiles, but the wood, you know, when it gets wet, it's extraordinarily heavy, and I don't want it to rot or anything like that. So that's my one concern, but it's so heavy already. I caught it a little bit late, and let's see. I've even put my little plant there to see if that can catch anything. You know, any little bit helps right now. So I'm calling on all of my buckets and towels and cups and saucers and my little plant as well. And let's see, I mean, it's raining everywhere. Remember how many I'm at so far? Big breath in on the way down. Let that front hip open. Front foot is where my weight is. Spread out on the entire foot, not just on the front, definitely not just on the outside. Like a lot of people roll their weight onto the outside of their foot. I want to keep it evenly distributed on the whole front foot. Push straight down and together. Just to try to illustrate better what I'm talking about is when I step back, my working leg doesn't move. So I like that. I like that I can get that foot set, soften the front knee, hinge a bit at that front hip, step back, but all I've really done is get the leg out of the way. My working leg is still stable. Now I make sure that hip opens as I drop down, and at the bottom, the weight is here. Or if I'm holding dumbbells, the weight is here. And it's essentially in line with my mid-foot, knee, and shoulders are all in one line. And I push straight down through that plane to come together. You know, if we have weights on our shoulders, we're doing this with heavy resistance. I want to look at what's the plane of motion, and on this, there's horizontal into vertical, and I don't like that. That's the worst explanation ever. Oh my god, my mind is fried. I'm gonna skip the attempted educational content for today. My brain is not functioning at all right now. I'm just gonna keep pushing through, working out in the rain, essentially, and see where it ends up. I'm just feeling raindrops. I'm just feeling raindrops falling on me. This would be kind of cool if it was outside. I'm losing my mind a bit here. I'm really stuck in between wanting to stay here and keep emptying out the buckets as they fill up, and they are filling up very quickly, and going home because I know that the roads, I can see the roads outside are quickly flooding as well, and my area that I live gets flooded a little bit faster than others. So I think I'm going to give this another, I don't know, I'm really torn what to do. I'm going to give this another 20 minutes, I think, 25, 35. I don't know. Give this another little bit of time, do what I can, see if I can think of anything else that I can do before essentially running away. But in the meantime, I'm gonna keep lunging. It's one of the most disjointed workouts I've had in a while. I'll do one set and then I run around putting towels, rearranging buckets, emptying buckets. Alright, I think I could call that enough for lunges today. I mean, on a normal workout, I think that would be closer to a warm-up, to be honest, but my mind is not really here. So I did 2 sets with a decent weight. Not very difficult at all, but better than nothing, right? So I'll move on from the lunges. I'm going to do some overhead shoulder press. Use the dumbbells. Probably keep this pretty easy too. Do 2 warm sets, 2 working sets, similar to how I did the lunges. So keep that format the same. And let's see. Like I said, right now I'm really fighting my head more than the weights, and you know, sometimes that happens. But you just feel better to do something than nothing. And today's one of those days. I want to get something checked off. I don't need to get better today, but I don't want to get worse in a way. So we did our lunges, we'll do some overhead press, and we'll see where we're at mentally at that point. I would absolutely normally, at this point, doing this sitting, I wanted to really build up to a heavier weight. But today, because my idea is to keep it short and simple and efficient, we're gonna do standing. Get a little bit extra work through the lower body as well, just to stabilize. Big breath in, really know. That was more challenging than I was expecting out of a warm-up set. But yeah, I think that's the best part about working out with a trainer, or if you have a workout partner. It's just that accountability to get through the workout, to actually do it. And in a way, I'm treating this, talking to the camera, I'm treating you as my workout partner. It's kind of like my personal accountability agent, my little growth engine in a way. That's how I'm treating this. You're my workout partner. And knowing that I have you to hold me accountable is going to make sure that I do these type of workouts even when I really don't want to. You know, if I wasn't recording right now, I would have probably ended after 1 or 2 sets on the lunges and been like, you know what, I'm not feeling it. Let me go home and watch a movie. But because I know I'm recording this and with the intention of putting it out online, it's just enough. It's just enough motivation to say, do a little bit more, continue, and you know, if nothing else, I think that's quite worth it. See, I put my my plant there. I don't know if it's doing more harm than good. I feel like when the raindrops hit the leaf, they're dispersing. I don't know if that's good or not. I see some water building up down there. I might move that. This Kendall is, oh man. Sorry, if you're watching, you might recognize something that's yours, but it's all hands on deck, really. Talk about creativity. I loop this bag handle through this little mushroom I have in the plant to keep the bag open, to create more catchable area. Alright, so it's gonna be I've been completely derailed, honestly. The rain started coming in even heavier, and a lot of the buckets filled up, so I had to empty all of those out. I have taken every resource I could find possible to try to collect some of the water, some of the rain that's literally just falling. Like, I feel it now. And it feels like you know, you're outside in a light rainstorm, like a very light rain. That's how it feels inside here. They're just everywhere. On a day like today where nothing is as it should be, let's go. I really don't do isolated arm exercises very often for myself. I'd much rather do compound movements that involve the arms. I like heavy pulls. I like heavy pushes. And I feel like I get more than enough arm work as secondary drivers in those moves. I feel like people who isolate their arms more, kind of looks a bit weird to me sometimes. People have huge arms and they're not necessarily that strong when it comes to actually moving weight. And I don't know, just never enjoyed working arms. I think triceps sometimes fine. And I mean fine by like I want to do them once every 2 weeks. Maybe biceps I'll do once a month. I really don't enjoy curls. I don't enjoy the feel of it. I don't enjoy the move itself. It's a bit strange. I don't care that much about my biceps or triceps. Honestly, I don't. I enjoy pushing something heavy, pulling something heavy. I enjoy being able to move my own body weight. I enjoy being able to carry heavy things. So doing things like farmer's carries, rope pulls on the sled. You know, people do tend to ask what I do for arms. They don't believe me when I say I don't do much for them specifically. They're almost always a secondary muscle in the move. Lost the camera for a second. Using 27 done 20s before. That's another thing. You know, I don't do arms very often, but when I do come back to do them, I've somehow always gotten stronger in the move. So last time I did curls, I remember I was doing 16s and I was happy about being able to do a few 18s. Now this time I did a few 20s and it actually felt quite good. I don't know how it looks, but it felt fine. So, you know, doing these farmer's carries, I love them. I just want to be able to carry heavy stuff, pull heavy stuff, push heavy stuff, throw heavy stuff, one way or another. It's also going to be helping us in these more ego, aesthetic type moves, like curls and all this. So they don't need to be a focus of my own training, but I get the appeal of having big arms. I just don't think it's that important. But again, today is a day that probably I'll be talking about and remembering for a while. I mean, if this continues, it'll be a day to be remembered. So might as well do some curls. I'm gonna try 22s now, just to see. It might not happen. It might look like dog poop, but everything today is pretty much like dog poop. So just give it a go. So yeah, not great, especially on the left side. My shoulder's a bit locked, so don't get the best range of motion there. But anyway, today we did some reverse lunges. got to a decent weight, nothing really challenging. I did some overhead presses. I forgot to record one set, but ended up doing 3 sets of that, 4 sets of lunges, 3 sets of curls, whatever. It is what it is. Today's a day that's about trying to save the gym from going underwater, and my workout, to be honest, secondary to that. So anyway, thanks again for joining today's workout. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.